Hi, my name is Melissa and welcome to my channel. This video is near and dear to my heart because I recently transitioned from a military career into a civilian one working in corporate. So if you are active duty, National Guard, reserves, it doesn't matter. This could be really helpful to you. So if you're interested in seeing how I landed a corporate job after coming off of active duty orders, keep watching. Everybody has an MOS or career track that they followed, whether they were enlisted or commissioned into the military. I, for one, joined the National Guard. I enlisted. I started at the ground level as an E1 and worked my way all the way up to E5. And initially, my job was chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear specialist, also known as CBRN. It truly depends on what your score is on the ASVAB and what they have need for in the military. I had two options. I could have been a truck driver, which is an 88 mic, or it could have been a CBRN specialist, which is 74 Delta. I chose CBRN specialist because I truly thought that that would look better when I was ready to come back into the civilian workforce. I was a CBRN specialist for the first 6 years of my career until I decided to change my MOS or career track to 42 Alpha, which is a human resources specialist. And I've been doing that for the past 2 years. That translates into a human resource generalist in the civilian world. And so I learned a lot. I went to the school for it. I started working full-time on active duty orders, doing it every single day. And that gave me the ability to transfer those skills into the civilian workforce. So if you're looking into a way to get into corporate America straight out from your military career, keep watching this video. I'm gonna tell you exactly how I did it. First things first, this was not an overnight thing. This was not a happenstance or just some form of luck that I struck these jobs. And I say these jobs is because I actually was given multiple offers. So that meant that I had different opportunities and I decided to pick the one that best fit my life. So the first thing you need to do is have a strategic plan. If you are trying to leave the Army tomorrow and go into the corporate world without doing any strategic planning, I'm already gonna let you know you're wrong. You're wrong. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. We already know that, right? So the first thing you need to do is take a step back and look at what you've been doing in the military for the past, I don't know how many years. Just know that if you've been a cook in the US Army for the past 4 years on active duty status, and now you are trying to apply for a data analyst job with no other experience, you're more than likely not going to get it. Let's face it, military experience alone is not going to secure you the job. Like I said before, if you have not been working in specific MOSs and career tracks, you might want to consider switching to those fields now, working in them 1 to 2 years, and then looking for a corporate job in those spaces. Now, you know the military is a lot like the corporate world because we have all areas and industries within our ranks. We have human resources, we have accounting and finance, we have cybersecurity, information systems, and things of that nature. We have IT, we have all of those things that are completely transferable into the corporate world. With those MOSQ schools, you not only go through hands-on technical training, you then come out and do this job every single day. And so that was a big chunk for me. A lot of corporate jobs want you to have experience, even if it's entry level. So right now, the first thing you need to do is do a strategic plan. What do you want to be in the corporate world? And then do your research and find out which MOS or career track completely aligns with that. And then switch your MOS right now. Number 2, you have to do career mapping, and I want to do an entire video on how I career map and how I strategically plan my career out. A YouTuber on here always talks about looking at yourself as a free agent, and I cannot agree more. You need to look at your entire career, everything that you do, as a means to getting to your goal, right? So for me, I know one day I would like to be in the C-suite, right? As either a CEO, COO, CFO, whatever, right? CHRO, whatever it is. I know I want to be in the C-suite. So I look at what it takes to become a C-suite leader, and then I work backwards. Okay, well, the position under that is a VP, and then the position under that is a director, and then the position under that is a manager, and the position under that is a supervisor, and so on and so forth, right? So I go all the way down, and I figure out what is the first step that I can take to get to where I want to be in the corporate side. So when I realized that I'm really good at administrative and analytical things, I love working in an office space. That's not for everybody, but that's what I like. I decided to make sure that I aligned my military career with what I wanted to do on the civilian side. Because let's face it, we're all not gonna stay in the military forever. So right now, since I have my military background, I have educational background, I can skip those first few positions because I'm past that and I'm starting at a mid-level position in corporate. With a couple of years under my belt being a specialist, I can move on to being like a coordinator or a manager or a supervisor, which would be my next steps. Number 3 is market your military experience, okay? But also be transparent about the things that you don't know. So for me, when I wrote my cover letter, which some people say they don't do, which I don't understand why you wouldn't, I acknowledged the fact that I had human resource experience, but I also acknowledged the fact that the information systems I'm used to using in the military are not the same as your typical ADP, payroll system, workforce system, whatever HRIS that they use in the civilian world. Now, my opinion, from my experience, all information systems have the basic elements and characteristics. So if you can learn one system for payroll, you can learn another system for payroll pretty easily because they kind of use the same things. They might have different tabs or different places, but for the most part, generally they do the same thing. So me being transparent about not knowing how to use certain systems, it made them say, okay, well, this is something we can work with you with. And I told them up front, like, I use this system for this. I'll tell them all the military systems I've used. And even though I'm speaking a completely different language to them, they respect the fact that I have experience with information systems. So market your military experience. When it comes to management, supervising others, things of that nature, if you have made it to a team leader, squad leader, platoon, sergeant position, use that because that is management. That's supervising other people. I mean, we do it in different ways, but that's what it is, right? So don't belittle your military experience and be like, man, it's not corporate, because a lot of the skills that we learn in the military and all of the values that we hold makes us ideal candidates for the corporate side. And number 4, now this might hurt some of y'all soul on the inside, but go above and beyond your military resources to find a job. The reason why I say this is because I have seen a lot of job postings that are like, this is for military, we love our military, we serve our military, we give them a place to work and a place to call home when they come back home. I've seen all of these great marketing tips for veterans, but then I'll see the job roles and I'm like, I don't want to do that. What makes you think I want to come back from overseas and be a forklift driver? Like, I've seen roles that are like insulting, and not saying that you shouldn't take those roles. If you want to work in a factory and if that's like your goal, then you can do that. But I just don't understand why every time I've seen military programs to help us get jobs, they're always like some job that I didn't have to go to the military to get. Like, what? It's so like, one source is cool. Go into your local Veteran Affairs, VA building, whatever resources you have to get a job is great. But man, I don't want to do that. I don't want to work at Target. Like, especially when you go from active duty pay BAH and benefits and all of this great stuff to like you trying to get me to work at like these crazy places that are extremely laborious, and everybody has its place. But we all know that if you clicked on this video, it's because you want to be in corporate America. So you're not trying to like have a laborious job. You want to sit at a desk and you want to use your brain, and that's the type of job that you want to do. And I'm not putting down any other type of job because I've had them in the past. Like I've worked at grocery stores and stuff like that when I was younger. That's just not what I want to do now that I'm older, especially with all of the military experience I've had, serving my country, gaining experience, going to school. Like I just don't understand why when I get military resources or recruiting services for military veterans specifically, they never have jobs that are like geared towards transitioning us from military to corporate. And if you know a place that does, please put it in the comment section below for the rest of us, because this is like from my experience, I just have not seen that and I have not found that. And number 5, the last one, apply for government jobs. Government jobs are a little bit weird, but if it's corporate, it's corporate, right? Even if it's in the government. And so it's easy for you to go from DOD to other branches and other places, whether it's local, state, or federal. Usually pay grades transfer over to the G pay scale, all of that stuff. So make sure that you're looking up government jobs. It's something that I thought of the last minute, and then I got a job that I wanted, so I kind of slowed up on that. But I wish I would have started out with government jobs in the first place, because they are more secure than, just your regular marketplace job. And yeah, like you kind of continue your benefits in a way, right? Like, you have specific benefits in the military. A lot of the time, those benefits just continue on if you go into a different branch of government. Because honestly, soldiers, whether you're National Guard, Reserves, or active duty, you're a government worker. You belong to the federal or state government, or both. So yeah, just make sure you apply for your government jobs. And those are all of the tips I have for you. So that's pretty much it. That's all I got for this video. I hope I'm in the frame. It looks really low. So please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let your battle buddies find this, right? And you can do that by like commenting and subscribing. And be sure to look at my side hustle videos, other HR videos, and